I roll and rock and roll. I roll and
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Apex Investor. We're going to talk about why I switched from AMC to GME and why you should too. So let's get into it. Okay, so just to warn you, I'm not a financial investor or a financial expert. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I cannot be held. I cannot be held liable for any whatever you do, but it's up to you what you do. So basically, what we're going to do, we're going to look at AMC and GME before the squeeze. Well, not squeeze, before it really lifted off the past 2 weeks now. If we look at the lowest point of GME right after that that squeeze it had in January, it dropped all the way down to around looks like 532, 535, somewhere thereabouts. And today it hit a peak of what is that? 1247, around 1247 today, March the 10th. GameStop, on the other hand, when it was at its lowest point, right after the first squeeze, you could say, it was down at 38. I want to say 38. Yeah, about 38.60, right about here, 38.50, 38.60. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in those numbers and include the today's high of 348.50 and just where your money would be if you invested $50,000 in both scenario one, $50,000 US into AMC at the low point of let's see, 5. So let's do that here just to show you what that would look like, okay? And how much money you would make. I mean, there's going to be a little spoiler here already, but let's just let's edit this. So AMC, again, if you had $50,000 and you bought them at $5.35, you would then have a total of $9,346. Okay, it's not showing up on my screen for whatever reason, but that's how many shares you would have. 9,346 shares of AMC. On the other hand, if you invested 50,000, the same amount, into GameStop, you would then have a total of 1,295 shares. However, this is where it gets interesting. Let's calculate. I'm going to show you right now. Let me just show you both of those scenarios. Let me show you the math. Okay, so 50,000 US dollars, divide that by 535, because that's how much we're paying at that low point when it was at its lowest point after the first squeeze. Again, 9,345. I rounded it off to 46. And if you multiply that, okay, by today's number, today's high, I should say, multiplied by 1247, which was today's high for GameStop, you would get a total of 1,600 $544.62, which is an increase of, if it would just show it there, 133%. That's how much you would have made selling at that high of today. So it was up overall 84%, going by that potential scenario, that hypothetical scenario, because I know most people that are investing have at least something around 25,000, maybe 100,000. So I just averaged it down to 50,000. So you would be plus 42,000 and you'd have 92,000 in your bank. Well, not in the bank, but I mean, that's how much your portfolio would be worth if you just went all in on AMC. Again, that's at best 133%. However, let's just say all time high, just for argument's sake, 9346. And we're going to get the all time high of GameStop or AMC rather, which is, I think, $20 roughly. So let's just say it goes to 20, it reaches that previous 1 year 52-week high, 2036. So let's just say 2036, just for the sake of argument. And remember the number. Okay, 190. Remember that number, 190, 284, and 56 cents. Okay. So that's how much money you would have if it reaches its all-time, well, not all-time, but I mean 1 year peak. So 190. That's how much money you would have. Okay. And then let's do the same thing first with the GameStop. The $50,000 investing when it was 38, 60, where you just had incredible powers of prediction and you got 1295. So 1295 shares, again, multiplied by today's high, which was 348 before it dropped down to 180 and then went up again to 265. You'd have 451, 307. Okay. And that's an 802% increase. Overall, you'd be up not 84%, but 586.53. And then doing the same thing, looking at the 52-week high for GameStop, if we do the same math, so 1295 shares, and you multiply that, remember AMC was 190, 284. Okay, that's how much we had with that all-time high. So we're going to look at GameStop. I believe it was around 480, something like that. 483. Okay, so let's multiply this by 483 just to be fair. We will get 625, 485. And AMC was 190, 284. So you would make almost 3 times as much with GameStop. So I think worst case scenario, you'll make twice as much with GameStop versus AMC. Best case scenario, you'd make 10 times as much, I think, because that's what it's panning out to be that way in terms of the different earnings potential for both. So that's why I switched over my shares of AMC to GameStop. I had 1,000 shares of AMC. I bought them around $14, and it went down obviously, and then I bought some at the low. But overall, my portfolio was going up, but not too much. I was only making baby steps. I couldn't break 20,000. I was hovering between like 14,000 to 17,000. And then I decided maybe a few days ago, let's switch over to GameStop because I can see that GameStop's highs are much higher percentage wise. And when they drop, it's much lower too. AMC is feeling a harder drop. And when it's going up, it's not going up to the same degree. So I did that. And I don't know if you remember what my portfolio looked like before, but anyway, it was probably around $7,000. But anyway, I had 1,000 AMC shares. So let's look at my portfolio. And full disclosure, I'll just show you exactly how much I'm worth. I was worth 7,000 just a month ago. Okay. And I sold all my stocks, pretty much all of them, not literally everything, but almost everything. And just, I had 13 shares of GameStop about maybe a week or two ago. And they were worth maybe 3,000. I don't know, or half of that because it did drop. But I bought them initially for, I think, around 3,800. And then they dropped down to half whatever that is. So around, I'm going to say $1,900 US. But I decided to double down once again, or triple down, or quadruple down. But I basically took all or most of my shares of AMC because these ones I bought pretty cheap. That's why I decided I'll keep these because these are cheap as heck. Can't really go lower than that. And yeah, I'm up with those ones. Um, but let's just say I just kept my shares. Okay, hypothetically, let's pretend I kept my shares today, my 1,000 shares. So how much would I be worth today? Let me pause this for a moment. Let's show you 1,000 shares is what I had before. 1,000 shares of AMC had a roughly around that, maybe a little more, and then you multiply that times 985. Okay, so this is the scenario if I did not leave AMC. I would be 9850. Okay, but the truth is, I switched over to GameStop just the last few days, even last week a little bit. So I began by selling half my shares. I sold around, I think $9, $10, something like that. But I would have today, if I didn't do that, I would have 9,850 US dollars. That's how much my shares would be worth. And best case scenario, let's say it didn't drop down, would be 12,000. Would be around 12,470. I think that's how much it would be, around just over 12,000 anyhow. Okay, there's how much that's how much I ended up with by selling my 1,000 shares of AMC, switching them over to GameStop. Look at that, 19,000. And actually, I didn't switch over all of them. I only bought a portion, so I still have $2,000 left over, and I'm still way up. I'm still way up. Still way up. Again, I would only be at half of this if I just stayed with AMC because it's worth 985. But after hours, I know it's at 11 now. So regardless, I'm still way up compared to AMC. So this just proves that GME is the better play. Uh, AMC is a good stock. I'm not saying don't invest in it. I'm saying GME will make you a lot more richer, and it's the gold. It's the Bitcoin. It's the Bitcoin of the stock market. AMC is a good stock. Don't get me wrong, but it is the Litecoin. You'll still make money, but you only make, again, either half as much or 1/10 as much. But with GameStop, you're making at least double, maybe even 10 times more. Because again, GameStop is going to 1,000. That's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So let's do the hypotheticals again. Uh, Doing the hypothetical situation with the AMC GameStop portfolio there. If you had $50,000, which I believe the average investor, retail investor, has 50,000 invested in either or, maybe even both. But this is why you should really have your portfolio slanted more towards GameStop, if not all for GameStop. Because notice I still had like 70 something shares of AMC. That's because I bought them dirt cheap, and it can only go up from there. But if I switch them over to GameStop at this point, it's still a risky play because it can always dip a little bit, and I'd rather pick it up on a dip. And you can't get AMC for $5 anymore, $6, how much I got it for, which is really cheap. So let's do this uh, using the short squeeze now. Let's plug in that number as the last thing we're going to look at, the short squeeze play. So once again, AMC, you have 9346 because you bought at the dip and you bought $50,000 worth. And AMC, I see that going to at the highest 50. It's not going to go more than that. But let's just say it goes to 100. Let's just say it does. Okay. Let's just say it does. Extreme trading. So that's just under a million. You turn your 50 grand into just under a million. Okay. And I don't see it going to 100. I'm just using that as an extreme example. It's probably going to be worth half that. So if it's going to 50, which I think it probably might, 40 to 50, you're going to see just under 500 grand from 50,000, 50 grand to 500 grand. So you made 10 times your money, which is remarkable. That's spectacular. Let's look at GameStop. Let's do the same thing. However, let's put the uh, short squeeze in play, which is $1,000. So $1,000 per share. Okay, you would have 1.2 million, and that's being conservative. That's being very conservative because it's not going to just go stop there. It's going to keep going. Some people are saying it'll go to 10,000, so 12 million. Okay, so you turned your 50 grand to either 1.2 million or 12 million. But let's just be a little conservative now. Let's be a little more conservative. Let's say it only goes to, I don't know, 500, and that's not happening. It's going way higher than that. Still, you're still going to make a lot more money at 647 uh, when GME goes to 500, and it's going to smash that easily. Again, over AMC, which is only going to the highest, I think, is probably $50, which again is still less than that. And the chances of AMC going to 50 is pretty slim. I do see it going to 20. That's pretty realistic. 30, maybe even 40. 50 is a little slim, but let's just say it goes to 40. I'm gonna say right now, $40. This is the last one. Then we'll close this video. Uh, so 9346 times 40. Okay, this is in my mind, this is the realistic scenario. 373. So you took your 50 grand, it turned to 373 grand with the best case scenario, in my mind, realistic scenario of AMC going to 40 as a result of the short squeeze. Okay, 373. Remember that. Now let's take the same number, 1295, and put a realistic number. I'm going to say 500. It's pretty realistic. So 373 was what you ended up with AMC. This is pretty realistic. 500 is kind of conservative, but still, look at that. Almost double. And that's being conservative. If I'm being realistic, let's be realistic. It's going to 1,000. 1.295. So that is 4 times as much. Okay, I think I'm going to case closed. That's why you should switch your shares from AMC to GameStop. Again, AMC is a great company. Future prospects of it is looking very good. Theaters are opening up again. Uh, great movies are coming up. King Kong versus Godzilla, Dune, things like that. Marvel movies, Star Wars, all that. I mean, when they release those eventually. But the point is, even at full strength, and AMC recovers, and all the theaters are open, and people start going to movies again. Even when things are great for AMC still AMC still cannot go past 50. It just doesn't. Let's look at the historical chart. It doesn't. Look, this is the last since 2015. The highest it's reached was $33. That's why I'm saying 44 with the squeeze, or 40 to 50. That's with the squeeze. I think I rest my case. Let's look at GameStop now. GameStop was never over to these levels. This is unprecedented. This is an anomaly. Again, Bitcoin of the stock market. And this Friday, we could very well see this this short squeeze combined with the quadruple witching event that is set to occur this Friday. And every Friday after that, to be honest, every Friday is going to be massive. Look, this was only halted because of the manipulation where people were not allowed to buy GameStop from Robinhood. Otherwise, it would have went not just to 500, it would have went to 1,000. We would have seen a squeeze even larger than Volkswagen did in 2008. So I'm not going to promise anything, but that's my instinct. It's my gut instinct. I'm just a regular guy with great instincts, and my gut instinct is telling me that not only will GameStop, not only will AMC get to at least 30, maybe 40, possibly 50, we'll see, AMC, but GameStop is on its way. So not just 400 or 500, it's going to 1,000. very well could go to 10,000. I know they're saying it's not a meme, and they're saying 100K could be real as well. But looking at what happened today with that steep drop, nobody saw that coming. So again, taking into account the manipulation factor and the hedge funds, uh, taking them into account and all their tomfoolery, we could see it go to 1,000 realistically, which is 1.2 million from a $50,000 investment versus AMC, which is only about a fourth of this, maybe less. So thank you very much for your time. This is Apex Investor. Stay tuned for my daily update. I just wanted to do this video because I think it's really important. I want people to be in the know and to put these stocks side by side and not just, create an argument and not prove it. I just proved it to you that buying these respective stocks, AMC at its low at 535 after that gamma squeeze in January, that this is its lowest, 535, roughly around that price. And $50,000 would get you 9345. Today, if you held, you would have ended up with a total of uh, 42 plus 42,000. So you'd have 92 grand from 50. You'd almost double your money, which is great. It's spectacular. But again, look at GameStop. If you bought GameStop at its low, around $38, $40 after that respective gamma squeeze, you'd have 1,295 shares. And if you held the stock up to today, you would have not 50 grand, no, you would have 343 grand. You would have made over 6 times, uh, almost 7 times your money. Yeah, pretty much almost 7 times your money, 700% versus just less than twice your money. So I rest my case. Apex Investor, signing out. Wait for my, stay tuned for my daily update. Please like, please subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll get the notification that I've uploaded the new video. I do an update every day during the trading week, Monday to Friday. And if not on Friday, then on Sunday night. So thank you very much for your time. We're going to talk about a lot of things in the next video, the next update.